On my 18th birthday, Miranda told me that the women in our bloodline are born with a gift no one else has. Once a month we can perform a foresight ritual that reveals one major thing destined to happen to the family's sons within the next 30 days. From that night on, she expected me to conduct the ritual every single month, always about Jamie. What she never mentioned was the price. Every vision shaved a decade off my life and stapled those years onto his. The morning SAT scores were posted, I collapsed in a pool of blood. She cashed the settlement payout, threw Chase a celebratory banquet, and went shopping for new clothes. When I opened my eyes again, I was back at my 18th birthday breakfast. Dawn broke, and Miranda and Jamie wandered in to ask what I'd dreamed. Following the script burned into my skull the first time around, I said, "Jamie got a girl pregnant." Miranda and Jamie blanched. "Anything else?" they pressed. Of course there was more. Every second of my previous death loop lived behind my eyelids, but why serve the whole menu? Miranda grilled Jamie about when he'd slipped up. He juggles girls the way other people juggle credit cards. After my announcement he spent the week jumpy, pacing the hallway with his phone glued to his ear. "I just realized I'm late," one girl told him. Jamie's iPhone clattered to the floor. "Go buy a test now. I'm way too young to be anybody's dad." He darted into Miranda's room and started rifling drawers. I knew he was pilfering cash to pay for an abortion. When Miranda noticed the money missing, he'd swear I took it, wave an old selfie of me walking to the library with Bryant, and claim I blew the cash on guys. Miranda would storm the Van Cess house, threaten to haul them to court, and never once worry about my reputation. Bryant's parents would hand over $5,000 to make her vanish. Then Bryant would trash-talk me in class until the entire school decided I was a thief and a slut, and no one would speak to me until graduation. The kicker? Miranda always knew Jamie was the thief. She simply wanted the hush money. She'd hand him the envelope, buy him an iPhone, designer sneakers, and a steak dinner, then leave me at home crying over algebra. This time, I blinked the tears away before they fell. Miranda marched in, disappeared into her room, and burst back out shrieking, "My money's gone." "Did you steal it?" She aimed the accusation straight at me, skipping the real culprit entirely. "Yesterday I told you Jamie knocked someone up. Looks like he robbed you to clean up the mess." She hesitated. Jamie strolled in humming. "Chase, why is my drawer empty?" Miranda asked. He froze, then shrugged. "No clue. But Ellis has been cozy with some guy. Look." He produced a photo of Bryant and me discussing chem notes. Ancient history, yet Miranda swallowed it whole. "You little bitch, stealing for date money? I'll beat the truth out of you." She snatched a coat hanger. Jamie smirked. "Think twice, Mom. Keep blaming me and you can forget future predictions." She gaped, shocked I'd finally barked back. Jamie kept prodding her to call Bryant's parents and demand damages pay up, or we march to the principal's office, he said. I reviewed the security cam feed and smiled. Let's see who reaches the administration first. Jamie and I are fraternal twins. The night I turned 18, Miranda announced the family curse. Sterling women can see the next month's headline disaster waiting for our men, but only once every 30 days. She ordered me to perform the ritual monthly to keep Jamie on the straight and narrow. She didn't know the reborn me is unplugged, no signal, no visions, no dice. She also never admitted the ritual's true safety cap, once per year, or it devours the seer. After marriage the power fades anyway. Every extra glimpse she wrung out of me carved 10 years off my life and glued them onto his. What a saint of a mother. She was so determined to parachute him into college that she shaved me down to nothing, even though my transcript demolished his. The rumor mill erupted when an off-campus girl and her parents stormed the administration wing, screaming for blood. Who's the guy? Ellis's little brother, someone answered. Inside, I laughed. Ellis, principal's office now. Inside, Miranda and the girl's mother were already nose to nose while the girl sobbed in a corner and Jamie studied the ceiling tiles. If Jamie isn't expelled, I'll camp here every single day, the mother shouted, crossing her arms. Touch Jamie and Ellis goes down with him, Miranda shot back. I kept my expression blank. The school would never release its valedictorian on the eve of SAT weekend. My scores were their ticket to the national rankings. Miranda shot me a look begging for rescue. I faked illiteracy. Administrators proposed a compromise, $3,000 in damages, Jamie suspended from classes. No suspension, my son needs every lecture he can get. Expel Ellis instead, she can take his finals for him, Miranda insisted. Principal and counselors gaped. His GPA is trash, why protect his seat and axe the top student? Suspend me and consider your crystal ball broken for life, I said, walking out. Jamie earned the suspension plus disciplinary probation. Miranda paced the kitchen afterward, wringing her hands. What now? Every minute out of class is a nail in his SAT coffin. Relax, Sterling. I'm charmed, I'll still get in. You idiot, I thought you scheduled the abortion. How did a second girl waltz into school with her parents? She never told me she was late, I didn't see it coming. Last time I had foreseen 2 pregnancies, this time I erased the second. Jamie growled, why only one? Did the other vision slip down a storm drain? How should I know your body count? Count your own bedsheets. Miranda told him to shut up and parked him at the dining table with a stack of practice tests, determined to brute force him into a good college, and Jamie sat there grinning like the crown prince he's always believed he is. A month zipped by, and Jamie couldn't wait for me to run the next foresight ritual. He had only been suspended for 4 weeks before the office called him back to class. Soon the province-wide joint exam arrived, and the school treated it like the real deal. Finish near the top and an early admit scholarship was practically guaranteed. Jamie's buddy Logan usually hovered around 10th place in our grade. He wanted to use the shot to lock in that free ride. Last time around he'd cornered Jamie, begged me to slip him the answers, and dangled a sweet $100,000 under our noses. I flat out refused and took Miranda's fists and curses for it. In the end the answers still went through. Then the 2 of them marched to the teachers and pointed the finger at me. Score voided, an all-school announcement, whispers behind my back that every grade I'd ever earned was fake. Jamie and Miranda, cash in hand, told me to swallow the truth. After the payout I couldn't even squeeze $100 of allowance from them. I've seen the test. You'll crush it this time. Miranda won't scream at you anymore. Seriously? Jamie's eyes lit up. I dug the questions and the keys out of my memory and slid the packet across to him. He'd find a way to monetize it, I knew that. I warned him that if it blew up he was on his own, because I wouldn't save him twice. When scores dropped, everyone had magically outdone themselves, even Jamie the slacker broke 500. Logan, though, scored lower than usual. Furious, he marched to the staff and ratted Jamie out. Jamie thought about selling me out, realized that would torch his personal oracle, and shouldered the blame himself. After the final bell he cornered Logan, they glared at each other, then exploded into a brutal fistfight that torched years of brotherhood. Jamie put Logan in the hospital. Logan's parents stormed the school demanding Jamie's expulsion. Miranda dragged Jamie to apologize, parked me in front of them as the human shield, sweet-talked everyone, and finally smothered the fire. Back home Jamie lost it. That little punk cost me every nickel I bled for. At the word money Miranda flared up and smacked him a few times. If you hadn't lost your mind and decked him, I wouldn't have emptied my purse. How did I raise such dead weight? Jamie stewed, then swung the blame my way for handing him the answers. Miranda piled on no profit, plus a black mark on her precious boy. Mom, he got greedy. Why scream at me? Then why give him the sheet? Chase never needs your help. You landed him in this mess. Right. I could have scored without you. Fine, your son's a genius. Even if I earned an early admit scholarship it still wouldn't measure up. What good's a scholarship? College still costs. I've told you 100 times we can afford one kid in college, and you insist on fighting your brother for the seat. He'll be lucky to land a third-tier dump. And you? If you go you'll just die young. Why not let someone else have the chance? Jamie flinched. I stared at Miranda. She realized she'd stepped over the line and shut her mouth. What do you mean, Mom? Miranda scurried into her room and ignored me. The third ritual showed nothing earth-shaking. Jamie stayed quiet at home, even cracked a workbook now and then. Deep down Miranda didn't care what I saw, she only wanted me dead and Jamie alive. The fourth hour last before the SAT weekend she asked what was coming. Jamie's accepted to his dream school. Jamie and Miranda beamed. I rolled my eyes. Chase, what's your dream school? Tsinghua or Peking, obviously. The two were walking on air. Miranda grabbed her purse to hit the market tonight deserved a feast. I must be gifted. I barely listen in class and I'm in. Some people can grind their bones to dust and still choke when real talent shows up. Jamie swung a foot onto the coffee table, tossed his textbook aside, and fired up his gaming console. I couldn't stand being in the same room. Outside I spotted Miranda chatting with the neighbor ladies still hadn't left for groceries. I drifted closer. Your Ellis is such a good student. Where's she applying? That level? She stays up till dawn and barely hangs on. The real star is my Chase Tsinghua and Peking are locks. But Jamie never studies. How's that possible? He's got talent. He's been sandbagging. Wait till the results drop, you'll see fireworks. I strolled up and sweetened the pitch. My little bro's Ivy League material. Every valedictorian trophy I own is because he let me win. He'll explode across the news on score release day. The ladies lit up, already planning to camp on our porch when the numbers arrived. Last time around I had weeks left to live. Miranda's single wish was for me to hurry up and die so Jamie could keep breathing and inherit the world. Turns out my lifespan was shorter than I thought, just 4 rituals and my candle went out. The SAT weekend arrived. Last cycle I collapsed in a pool of blood as proctors called pencils down on the first morning. Everyone panicked, the school phoned Miranda, but she never left Jamie's side. She showed up at the hospital only after his last exam ended. Docs blamed exhaustion, Miranda seized the excuse and went to war with the school, insisting their pressure cooker had worked me to death. The administration, mourning a top student, still took the public beating. They finally cut my family a $200,000 settlement payout. Miranda tucked the check away with a grin, then took Jamie out for surf and turf that same night. And kept spending new iPhones, a laptop, a gaming console, limited sneakers, no grief, just shopping. Jamie later got into a for-profit college and Miranda still threw him a celebratory banquet, entire clan invited, pride intact. Early on test day Miranda slipped into my room and hauled off every pen, pencil, and review sheet to Jamie. By the time I noticed, Jamie and she had vanished. I watched their backs recede, peak irony. They remembered his exam, not whether I was breathing. They even took my SAT admission ticket and my state ID. Miranda camped outside the school gate. The moment Jamie walked out she dabbed his sweat and hand-fed him water, lunch-spooned like he was royalty. When they came home after day 1 and found me, they weren't surprised. Of course Ellis missed the test. Mom, where are my things? What things? No idea. Why'd you take my ID and admission ticket? She played dumb, patted her pockets, then flung the crumpled cards at me. How did your crappy stuff end up in my pocket? If it messes up the luck between Chase and me, you're dead. I let out a cold laugh. I'd already died once, what else was there to fear? With the test behind him, Jamie had completely let loose, staying out all night and telling anyone who'd listen that he was ivy-bound. The moment scores dropped, Miranda booked a banquet hall and started dialing relatives days in advance. Jamie paced like a caged tiger, itching to witness his own crowning glory. Save the lookup for tonight, let everyone watch the show, I said. Miranda and Jamie loved the idea. To save face, Miranda reserved the priciest table in the place, easily 20 grand, and for Jamie she didn't blink. Relatives crowded around him, lavishing praise. When they heard I hadn't shown up for the test, they didn't even glance my way. Let's do this, can't wait anymore. Jamie brimmed with confidence. Some cousins started live streaming, others fired up video calls, dragging more viewers into the spectacle. Everyone held their breath. Jamie smirked. He wanted the world to see. He typed in his info and waited for the page to flip. It's up, it's up. Eyes locked on Jamie's iPhone. Seconds later, the room exploded in snickers. Pfft, and I thought we'd see something earth-shattering. Anybody could get that score. Seriously, dragging us here, does he even know his own weight? All that livestream hype for garbage numbers, embarrassing. Miranda and Jamie couldn't lift their heads, stunned. The foresight ritual had promised glory, yet here were the scraps. Your family's a sitcom. One swaggers about Harvard, the other throws a tantrum and skips the SAT. Peas in a pod, huh? Haha. Auntie, your twins are pure comedy. Laughter rattled the chandeliers, and watching Miranda and Jamie wilt, I gloated inside. Wasn't Ellis always top of the class? What good's first place if you don't even sit the exam? Uncle, it's not that I refused. Miranda took my SAT admission ticket, my state ID, even my pencils. How exactly was I supposed to get in? Miranda shot me a glare that screamed, "Shut up. Watch your mouth, brat. Let Ellis take it. She'd outscore Jamie any day." A few relatives swung to my side. I only cracked 300-something, but at least some for-profit college will have me. Ellis has squat. Exactly. Mother and son, mute moments ago, now formed a united front against me. Sorry, my early admit scholarship is already locked in. I don't need the SAT to have a future. I smiled sweetly. The room detonated into whispers. Miranda and Jamie went pale, eyes darting, trying to figure out when this had happened. I'd mentioned it the day Jamie sold cheat sheets, but they'd brushed it off. Miranda never planned to let me attend anyway. I always said little Jade's the smart one, clearly sharper than Jamie. Which college, hon? Come summer, tutor your cousin. Girls just got it, huh? Compliments flew, no one paid Jamie any mind, and his scowl kept curving south. An aunt fished out a cash-stuffed envelope and pressed it into my hand. Here, Jade, for you. Soon every relative was shoving red envelopes at me. I tried to refuse, but Miranda spoke up. Take it, accept their kindness. My first time drowning in red packets, I stuffed them one by one into my purse while Miranda and Jamie stared, salivating. Back home she'd surely confiscate them. Dinner was winding down, everybody ready to leave, only the bill remained. Miranda sat frozen, winking furiously at me. Mom, something in your eye? She glowered. Guests started hurrying us. Miranda, time to settle up. She dragged herself off, pinching me as she passed. She wanted me to foot it with the gift money. Not happening. We'd barely stepped inside when she lunged for my purse. I clutched it like a life raft. Hand it over. That money was meant for me. Ellis stole my spotlight. You little liar, you swore Chase could make Harvard look easy. You humiliated me. I'll beat you dead. Relax, Mom. I said Jamie would land in his dream school, not Harvard. You know exactly how much brain he's got. Some college is already his Everest. She paused, logic sinking in, and stopped wrestling for the bag. Even if Harvard's off the table, Ellis still has to cough up that cash. Jamie barked from the sidelines. Fine, take it. I yanked the envelopes out and tossed them at his feet. The easy surrender stunned him. He still started counting. Thousands of dollars. Next morning he bought the newest iPhone and treated his freeloading friends to a blowout. Miranda raged for days when she found the stash gone. The day after scores released, neighbors poured in to fish for gossip. Jamie holed up in his room, too ashamed to show. Miranda manned the front lines, and I tagged along for the spectacle. So where's Jamie? What did he score? My nephew pulled 500 plus. I bragged to him my neighbor's kid was Ivy material. Miranda forced a smile, mute. Drag him out. My daughter's stumped by one question, let Jamie explain it. A thud echoed from Jamie's room. The neighbors traded looks, biting back laughter. What's with the hide-and-seek? Too humiliated to tutor. He's running a fever, Miranda stammered. So what's the number? We're curious what it takes for Harvard. My brother got sick during the test, underperformed. Right, totally sick. Our Jade's brilliant, she didn't even need the SAT, she's already early admitted. I always said Jade's the achiever, you kept insisting Jamie had the gift. Attention swung my way, praise showered down, and only then did Miranda's color return. Jamie's applications came back, one for profit junior college, tuition 20 grand a year. He wanted to bail, Miranda refused. I was enjoying their shouting match when Miranda pivoted, whipping out photos of random men. Chase, how about this one? She asked Jamie's opinion on each. At first I thought she was hunting for herself, so I chimed in. Mom, these guys look barely legal. Miranda's jaw dropped. She shook her head. Ellis, you've got interesting taste. What do you mean? I froze for a second, not understanding. Mom's picking one for you, Jamie answered, irritated. I shot to my feet, snatched the photo, and hurled it into the trash. What the hell, you little brat? Don't bother on my account, go find yourself a groom first. Do you have any idea what your brother's tuition costs? Over $20,000 a year, plus living expenses. We're looking at 40 or 50. With our budget, you think you don't have to help? Mom fished the photo out of the garbage and smoothed the creases. Earning money is one thing, but shopping me around like this, what's that about? You get married, we get the bride price. You live well, we live well, 2 birds, 1 stone. Then why don't you marry? You'd bring in a bride price too. Mom stormed off looking for a stick. I grabbed the photo and ran outside to toss it farther away. When I came back, she had somehow produced another stack. You throw them out, I've got more. Keep pushing me, Mom, and don't come asking for foresight anymore. She opened her mouth, but Jamie cut her off. Forget it, Mom. Our bride price is peanuts, not worth it. Anyway, you haven't got long left. Mom shot me a glare. She's convinced I'm dying and wants to cash in on a bride price before I go. Once I'm dead, I'll be beyond her control. Cold, even for her. I hadn't expected Jamie to defend me, probably thanks to the cash-stuffed envelopes I'd let him blow through and the way I'd covered for him with the neighbors. I was juggling summer jobs and dizzy from exhaustion, yet Mom still wanted me to perform a foresight ritual. She might as well sign my death certificate. Mom, I've been feeling awful lately, dizzy, no energy. Could the foresight have side effects? Mom flinched, then answered sternly, nonsense. I've done it for years and I'm fine. Then why am I so weak? Let me recover first, okay? Fine, fine. Rest up, tomorrow I'll stew you some soup. Beaming, she left. I pulled up the security cam feed. Jamie was in the living room glued to his gaming console, and Mom couldn't wait to share the good news. Chase, guess what, your sister's almost done for. Seriously? Jamie didn't lift his eyes from the screen. She just said she feels awful, she won't last much longer. So she dies, big deal, no profit in that. Dummy, if she croaks before the semester starts, you take her spot and grab that early admit scholarship. We can't waste it. Jamie set the phone down and pressed a hand to Mom's forehead. You running a fever? I'm a guy, how could I replace her? I've figured it out. You get the gender reassignment surgery, enroll first, switch back later if you want. Jamie's jaw hit the floor. Watching the feed, I was just as stunned. Mom's schemes know no limits. Jamie's now hooked on pay-to-win games. Mom won't bankroll him and I'm broke, so he secretly took out an online loan, small amount, at least. I got back from my part-time shift. Jamie was pounding away at his game. Hey Jamie, how's it going with Logan? Logan? That little punk, why bring him up? Ran into him today. Surprisingly, he's dating a total knockout. You're better looking. If I were her, I'd pick you. Jamie perked up, quit the game, and grilled me for dirt. That ugly loser landed a girlfriend? Got a photo? I want to see who's so blind. No pic, but she's even prettier in person. Imagine if someone stole a girl that fine. Logan would lose it. Jamie went quiet, wheels turning. Sure enough, after that chat he hunted down Logan's girlfriend. Don't know how he got the tip, but he learned she worked at the pool hall and started showing up every day, hanging around for hours. Jamie may be scum, but his face scores points. He brought her snacks and drinks and even wanted to borrow money from me for a designer purse. I told him my paycheck hadn't dropped and Mom would never cough it up if she found out. So Jamie borrowed more online, a 2 or 3 grand bag tightened their bond. When Logan found out Jamie was moving in, he laughed it off. No way his girl would stray. Except she dumped Logan on the spot, swearing she'd be with Jamie. I hadn't thought Jamie had that much game. She actually fell for him. He brought her home. Mom panicked, afraid he'd knock her up and stuck cleaning up after him. Relax, Mom. I'm not messing around this time, she's the real deal. I wanted to puke. Mom couldn't control him, so she let it slide. Jamie, treat her right, keep the gifts coming, or she'll bolt. Obviously. I'll give her nothing but the best. First, he hit Mom up for 1,000. She adores her son and the girl is gorgeous, so she handed it over. The grand vanished in a day. Too scared to ask Mom again, he came to me. I lent him 500. He sneered at the amount. 500? That's one dinner. Cough up more. I'm tapped. Figure it yourself. After a few days of luxury, Jamie forgot we're broke. With a girlfriend to impress, he'd definitely turned to online loans. Her birthday neared and he asked what to get. Birthdays call for pricier stuff, bags, makeup, whatever girls like. No good, I've done those. Need something new. Your call, then. He settled on the latest iPhone 5 or 6 grand. Mom toiled away and wouldn't replace her own beat-up phone, yet Jamie splurged without blinking. She'd flip if she knew. I was mad too. One handset equaled 2 months of my wages, but it wasn't my money, so whatever. Jamie booked a karaoke room to celebrate. The party had barely started when Logan barged in with a bunch of guys and beat Jamie so badly he landed in the hospital. I visited the next day. Bruises everywhere. His miserable face was funnier than when he'd bashed Logan. Total screw up. Beaten, hospitalized, and your girl ran back to him. Only you could manage that. Mom couldn't resist laying into him, yammering nonstop until my ears rang. Jamie just took it. My mom swore she'd make Logan do time. He walked out after one day, wrote a settlement check, and that was it. He's got strings nobody can cut, she muttered. Jamie's chest heaved so hard the stitches pulled, he yelped like a stepped-on dog. The day they discharged him, he limped straight for Logan. Logan had muscle waiting. Jamie chickened out and slunk home. Where's your girlfriend? I asked. Damn it, he kissed her right in front of me. I haven't even touched her yet. Drop it. Logan's wired, we can't win. Shame, though she's gorgeous, and you shelled out. iPhone, designer bag, where'd you get the cash? Jamie hammered the table until a crack split the wood. The sound hurt my teeth. If you love her, go take her back. I'm behind you. He brooded for half a minute, then bolted. I shouted, he didn't even slow. When Mom got home and found Jamie gone, she paced holes in the rug until my head throbbed. Ellis, do a foresight ritual check on your brother. I told her I'd look. Later I came out and said he was fine. She never guessed the visions had already gone dark. She finally slept. Next morning Jamie's texts, the patrol officers, and the hospital all rang at once. Mom hit the floor in a dead faint. The report, last night Jamie showed up with a pocketknife, meaning only to scare. Logan didn't flinch, they tangled, the blade slipped, Logan bled out before the sirens came. Jamie knew he was finished. He wrote a goodbye note, sorry to me and Mom, calling me the smart sister who'd make something of herself. He'd meant to turn himself in, but the online loans 20 grand with interest and the girl who'd never come back and a for-profit college that waited made life look like a dead end. Irony, he begged Mom not to blame me, to let me keep my shot at school. Mom woke, clutched his body and screamed herself raw. This is your fault. You swore Chase would be okay. Why is he dead? You should be the corpse. I stood there, blank. In my last life she'd toasted my death settlement with Jamie over lobster, never shed a single tear. I still don't know why my life weighed less than his. His final words for me stung for a second, but I remember whose stupidity killed me the first time. She aged overnight, cradling Jamie's photo, weeping non-stop. She emptied her savings, paid the online sharks, and the civil settlement almost cleaned out. Funny, she'd always claimed there was college money for only one kid, yet she'd scraped up hundreds of thousands now. "You owe me cash, you owe me Chase, you took everything," she shrieked. "Not my mess," I answered. She lunged to slap me. I stepped aside. "Why won't you die? Chase was meant to live forever." "I'm not dying. I'll outlive you and outlast every nightmare you prey on me." She stared, hate steaming off her. "You think you'll last? You'll be dead before orientation school's just a dream." She spat, then curled around the photo again. With move-in day clothes I worked double shifts, banking every dollar. No tuition fairy here. She cried at work, cried on the bus, cried in the shower. Whenever she saw me she dialed the venom up to 11. "So when's it happening? When do you drop dead?" I kept silent, panic rotted her nerves. Night before departure I packed, turned the lock, and slept light. The dead don't sleep deep. The knob rattled. Only one person would hack at it like that. She grunted, kicked, slammed dozens of blows until the wood whined. "Ellis, open this door. I'll get you. Chase is gone and you're following him." Thud, thud. The sound turned metallic, a blade hacking at the panels. I grabbed my phone and dialed, terrified she'd break through. "You stay in there. You're not going to that school. Chase was the one who belonged there." "Why did you do this to Chase?" "Why?" Every blow jackhammered my heart. Then the pounding stopped. She sagged outside, sobbing Jamie's name. Footsteps. Patrol officers. One of them barked, "Lady, what the hell are you doing with a knife in your own hall?" I opened up. Mom sat on the carpet, face buried. The door was chopped like raw meat, the pocket knife already bagged. She shot to her feet and locked her hands around my throat stronger than I remembered. Black dots swarmed my eyes. "What are you doing?" An officer roared, dragging her off. "They called her insane for drawing a weapon on her kid. She dies tonight. Let me go. The wrong child is dead." I watched her hauled away and felt the world go quiet for the first time in years. She told them I was broken, that the one who should be breathing wasn't, and the wrong body was in the morgue. The cops had never seen a mother this rabid. They assured me I was safe and told me to head to campus. I showed them the security cam feed, Mom making Jamie get the gender reassignment surgery so he could steal my early admit scholarship. The footage sealed their verdict. Psych ward, full evaluation. I stepped onto the campus. I'd earned no mother, no wrecking ball brother, just me. From here on, I live for myself.